to chapter 38 and read with me, if you can, where in 38, 31, 32, and 33, something very important is said concerning astrology. In chapter 38, 33, first, the scripture says, "Knowest thou the ordinances of heaven?" In other words, there are ordinances in heaven. And 31 now, going back to 38, 31, God says to Job, according to the scripture, "Can thou bind the sweet influences of the Pleiades or loose the bands of Orion?" What are we talking about here? The Pleiades, an astrological symbol in the zodiac. And God is supposedly saying to Job, "Can thou bind the sweet influences?" What influences? I thought that that's all evil. That's all astrology. That's that New Age stuff. We don't have anything to do with that. And here God is saying to his prophet Job, "Can thou bind the sweet influences of the Pleiades or loose the bands of Orion? Can thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season?" Now there's a heavy piece of information. God is saying to Job in 32, 38, 32, "Can thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season? Or can thou guide Arcturus with his sons?" We're talking astrology here. Now, if you go to the King James Version, that's the version that God spoke. And if we read from the King James Bible what the word Mazzaroth means, here in the King James, in the interpreting dictionary, in the back of the King James, we look up the word Mazzaroth. And here we see Mazzaroth means the 12 signs of the zodiac. That's from the King James. Mazzaroth means the zodiac. And therefore God is saying to his great prophet Job, "Can thou bring forth the zodiac in his season?" That's right, because the zodiac has 12 seasons, 12 houses, and that's why God's Son, the light of the world, could say, "In my Father's abode are many houses." We're talking astrology here. But I'm going to tell you one of the most interesting things you're going to find in the Bible about astrology is the end times. There's not a Christian program on anywhere that is not concerned with the end times, the last days, the end of the world. Jehovah's Witnesses are proclaiming all over the world that this is the end times. In fact, these are the last days. We are living in the end times. But the end times of what? If you understand that the Bible is nothing more than a retelling of astrology and the astrological zodiac, then you understand why it is that Jesus is referred to have fed his people and his followers. God's Son feeds his followers according to Matthew 14:17. We read, and of course this is a very old story. We've all heard about how Jesus fed his followers with 2 fishes. And with 2 fishes and 5 loaves, he fed his people. The 2 fishes are, of course, the 2 fishes of the zodiac, which is the constellation of Pisces. Pisces is always symbolized as 2 fishes. Consequently, God's Son, that thing that comes up in the morning, feeds his people on earth in the sign of the 2 fishes. Now, if you think we're stretching this point, just continue to listen.